Hi everybody, this is Isabelle in the Wildfire and Wax studio for my weekly Fire Paint with Me Facebook live session. Today it's a little bit tricky because I am going to show you how to make your own encaustic medium. Okay, now encaustic medium is the foundation of encaustic paint. Basically, what you need for making your own encaustic medium is pure, refined and filtered beeswax, like the one that I have here. Okay, this is not bleached, but this one has been filtered, so it's white beeswax. Now again, we talked about that a lot. When you are buying your beeswax online or wherever you are, make sure that the beeswax has been filtered naturally. Okay, that basically it went through a filter and that it hasn't gone through a chemical process. And secondly, that it hasn't been bleached. Okay, plus there are I have a dog that just walked in my studio. Okay, the door is open today. Secondly, you have to make sure also that a lot of beeswax are sold as beeswax, but then you go into the small prints and you notice that basically it's been mixed with soya or paraffin or whatever else. Okay, now before I get started, I might just wait a couple of minutes to see if any of you are gonna turn up live today, before basically I get cracking. Now when you do your encaustic medium, don't stand around looking at it, because it will take a minimum of an hour basically to melt. Okay, I'm gonna show you all the various stages. So when I do my medium, usually it's like today I'm in the studio, I'm actually cleaning the studio, would you believe, because it's crazy, and I've got a workshop on Wednesday, so I'm gonna need to to clear it out a little bit. But so when I'm doing something else, okay, either I'm on the laptop doing something or I'm painting, and the medium is getting ready really on its own. Okay, it takes a little bit of time. So usually when I do my medium, I do about 3-4 kilos at a time. This way it is done. Okay, otherwise I can't see if anybody is joining me today, but anyway, what else can I tell you about? Well, I'm very excited this week because I am finally gonna exhibit my vessels. I don't know if you guys have been following me on my progress with this, and I started to do 3D work about 3 weeks ago now. It literally took me by surprise. Just started with this dream of my painting changing into an orb, okay, and it took me a couple of weeks basically to work out how to do basically the medium and the pigments and different recipe with the medium to basically have it to hold itself. So now I've got them ready and they're gonna be exhibited. And I think the show is opening on the 4th of May, but I will let you know in a group show with an art trial that I am part of. We call ourselves Art in Studios, created about 3 years ago in East Clare. 12 artists, 12 studios, and basically tour operators or people can come to our studios and watch us work or take part to our workshops and so on and so forth. So we're having a show in the Buren in about 10 days time, and it's terribly exciting. And I've decided for that particular exhibition I am not going to show paintings, I'm going to show my my vessels. Hi Tara, how are you? So yes, I can show you some of them before people. Hi Tara, these are my little vessels, and as you can see they're pretty hard, and look inside. My paintings are inside, and these basically are the outside. So this one is called a Storm in a Teacup. Totally, those are hard. This one is called Storm in a Teacup, and it's like basically it's all crazy and swirly inside. Tara, I'm just waiting a little bit to see if people are gonna join me. Now this one is the one I finished this week. I call it Sacred Earth. Thank you. So yes, they are totally waterproof, of course, yeah, because they're made of beeswax and dammar resin, which makes them hard. Okay, look, very hard. They also are translucent, so they're super tricky to work in, because first I work the outside. I make mold first, and I work the outside, and then I do work the inside. So you have to imagine that basically with the blowtorch and everything is moving. It is super tricky, but I love it. It's great fun. So this one is called Sacred Earth. What else do I have in here? Oh yeah, this one I finished this week as well. This one is called Mother. Because the inside reminds me of the inside of a mother of pearl, which I'm inspiring myself. I'm absolutely crazy mad about mother of pearl, so this one is called Mother. But anyway, these will be oh yeah, and this one is my favorite. This one was the first one I did actually, and it's still my favorite. Inside you have something called incrustations, which I'm going to show you how to do this process. And again, all around, they just, yeah, I love them, absolutely adore them. So they're gonna be on show in an exhibition, so I'm super happy about this. In 2 weeks time I need to find a way of putting them maybe in glass domes or something, so people you know, they won't be bounced around. But anyway, today we are, I know, thank you so much, Tara. Thank you very much. I love them, I adore them. I'm only doing this for the moment. I should be doing paintings, but I'm obsessed as usual. So today I am going to show you how to do the encaustic medium. Now you can buy your own, obviously. You can go to RNF or various companies that sells encaustic products, and you can either buy it as pellet, in pellet form, where basically the beeswax has been melted with the dammar, and you just only have to melt it yourself, and so on and so forth. Or you can also buy them in cake form. People mention, okay, why are you always talking about cakes? Yeah, well, okay, I do bake a lot, but what I mean by cakes is basically they've been like this, or in a round shape, like little muffins. Okay, now it is obviously much cheaper to actually do your own, because you're buying the materials raw, you know, if you buy them already made, it is obviously going to be more expensive, and plus it is great fun. And if you are actually busy doing something in the studio or whatever else you're doing, it's doing itself in the background. It will take a couple of hours to have one finished, you know, something like this finished, and you have it done. So usually I've got, yeah, 3 or 4 of these in the studio ready to melt. All right. Ooh, okay, Tara, you are my only viewer today so far. But anyway, okay, so what do you need? You need, as I said, pure, refined, and filtered beeswax. Now, I get mine in pellets. It goes like this, okay? Very cute. Smells gorgeous, okay? The second thing you will need is dammar resin. Now, I buy mine obviously in big bags of 5 kilos and so on and so forth, and it's called gum dammar, okay, or dammar resins, and you have to get it in crystal form. Like here there's a massive one in this, okay, like this one is very big, yeah, so you can see all the impurities inside and stuff like that. Now don't worry about that, we will get rid of them, all right? Don't worry about it. But do not use dammar varnish, which is a very different thing. I think oil painters use that. No, don't use that one, okay? You have to use the pure dammar resin in a crystal form. Now this is basically a fir tree, I think in Indonesia, Asia, and so on and so forth, where they tap the trees, and they basically, this liquid, this resin basically form. And this is the purest form of it. So here you have inside, got lots of bits of stuff, right? So this is what you need. These are 2 and only ingredients that you will need. Tool-wise, you will need, on a sec, I might just tilt it a little bit. Sorry for the finger in front of the camera. Tool-wise, you will need your hot plate. Now can you see? So this is your hot plate, okay? And with your hot plate you will need a little surface thermometer, okay? It is very, very important to have a surface thermometer because it gives you the exact temperature of your hot plate, which for this one you can go up to 220 in order to melt the damar resin. Now you need to add the damar resin because to the medium. Why would you do this? Basically it raises the temperature of your beeswax. Beeswax can melt at 140. If you add the damar to your medium, it will allow you to go to about up to 200. Okay, 185, 190, 200 degrees, okay? So it is very important that you have a little surface thermometer. These can be bought into any kitchen stores. I buy my stuff on eBay. They are about €5. Please get one of these because you cannot trust the temperature gauge that is on your hot plate. They are not exact. Okay, so here for making your medium, you will need about 200 degrees, 220 degrees. Okay, obviously here I've got loads of different things going on here. I use these roasting trays because that will fit easily a liter, okay, or a kilo of beeswax. And then what else would you need? Okay, your damar here. Okay, you need also a little scale of some description to weigh your beeswax. You also need some oven-proof gloves of some description because that is getting hot. You need something to stir, so anything, a brush, a large brush or a wooden stick, nothing plasticky obviously because it will melt. And then after this, you will need a mold of some description. Now, I use these bread mold. Now, silicone, please use silicone, otherwise it will stick and it will be a real pain. So, a silicone mold of some description. And you also need something to scrape, a scraper. Okay, now, hold on a second, I'm going to go back up because I feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay, hi Marianne, how are you? Hi Neve, how are you? Sorry, my head is being chopped. Okay, so you have your hot plates and there are, hot plate, I've got hot plates there because I'm doing a lot of medium for the weekend because I've got a workshop. But your hot plate is warm at 220 degrees centigrade, okay? You have your oven tin or some description, okay? Or here I also have those little muffin tins. They have to be flame proof, okay, on it. Now, you need to weigh your damar resin. Now, before I start this, I'm sure, some of you have gone online, I'm sure, to make your own encaustic medium, and you see there's 500 million recipe. Every artist will have their own way of doing it. Some people melt the resin first, then add the beeswax. Some people melt the beeswax, then add the damar. Some people melt both, okay? Some people, when it's over, filter the whole thing. Others don't. Now, you go, what the hell am I going to do, you know? Well, how about trying them all? How about trying, if you have the time, obviously, how about trying and see which one suits you best? Now, up to a few months ago, I used to, when the whole thing was melted, I used to filter it through a muslin cloth, okay? And then I discovered there's no need for that because basically, you know the way I was showing you the damar and all debris, okay? When you're actually going to pour this into your silicone mold, all of these will basically fall at the bottom, okay? And then you can scrape them. All right, so I do not filter. Again, if you wish to filter it, go for it now. But I find that it wastes a fair bit of medium unnecessarily. But again, do your own. I'm just going to show you how I do it myself. So far, yes, I know it's all fresh, it's all been done. I've got film crew coming on Monday, so I need to look my best. It's going to take a while. Anyway, where was I going with this? So yeah, I'm going to show you something that I've been doing successfully for the last few years, and it works for me. So here we go. Now, so right, So I've got different dishes here to show you the different stages, because obviously I am gonna stay with you here for 2 hours, which I would love that. I could chat for like 2 hours, but I'm sure you got stuff to do, and I've got stuff to do too. So, coffee. And there's a man outside cutting the grass. I apologize for the noise. Okay, so the first thing you need, okay, ratio. Yes. That is also something that you might go, some artists use 5 parts beeswax to, yeah, I know, to 1 part damar. Other use 8 part beeswax to 1 part damar, and you go, oh god. Well, okay. Some rule of thumb. Minimum 10% damar to beeswax. Maximum 30. Do not go over 30, because damar will help the work harden, it will become brittle and it will basically break it. Don't worry, Tara, thank you so much. Love you too, bye. So basically, my recipe, I use a 5-to-1, i.e. if I have a kilo of beeswax, I would basically melt 200 grams of damar resin. That would be the ratio I've been using. It's worked so far up to now perfectly. A lot of people use this one, okay? But again, it depends what you want to do as well. But 5-to-1. So the one I'm going to show you today will be 1 kilo of beeswax to 200 grams of damar. So here I have measured my little scale. Now, don't use a cup, try to measure it. I have a little scale in the studio or something that you only use for this. Here I've got 200 grams of damar resin, which I have put, now these are different stages here. I'll show you again, which I have put in these guys here, okay? Now, after a while, this is basically in the melted stage here. Now, that will take about half an hour to reach this stage. You see the way it becomes sticky? That's what you want. It becomes super, super sticky. Okay, so your little stirrer, okay? See, very, very sticky. When this is gonna be sticky enough, usually I tend to add a little bit of beeswax just to loosen it up a little bit. I'm gonna put this in the other one, okay? But eventually, when this is gonna be well and melted, you just add your beeswax. So here I've got 500 grams on one side. Let's weigh this again. Let's do a bit more. That, sorry for that, I'm off camera. Yeah, and then 500 grams on the other one. Okay. Now this is going to be nice and full. Okay. This will take a while to melt. It will take, I mean, if you do it at 220 centigrade, I would say it would take about half an hour. Just let it melt gently. Do not raise the temperature. It will eventually merge and melt together. You can use your stirrer. Now, I also have this little stick here. Stir it around until, and I'm going to tilt it again. And this one is the one I did this morning to show you, until you reach this consistency. My temperature gauge, I don't know if you can see, is 220. It's perfect. You see the way it's lovely and honey? Okay, you can see all the bits, all the impurities at the bottom of your pan. Don't worry about this at all. It will be fine. So this one is perfect. Okay, all the damar is melted. Okay, when you basically, I don't know if you can see here, but it drips. There's no stickiness anymore, like I showed you earlier. Okay, so this one is absolutely perfect. And when this is done, it's a bit of a logistics here because I have to show you different processes. So I'm going to move this one around. When this is done, I have a little tray here I have my mold. I don't know if you can see it. I have my gloves, my oven gloves. It's like cooking, really. And then I pour it in my mold. Don't worry if there is some left. You can put it on the side. Okay. So I'm going to put this away. We don't need it anymore. And this is what you're going to end up with. I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay, this is what you're going to end up with. And then you will need, sorry, good tip about not raising the temperature. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do not raise the temperature. It's very important. Just take your time. Just do something else. Go over your house, whatever, you know, or do some work. Now, here, you remember I put in the mold. Just leave it, let it set. Just put it outside if you want to. Now, careful that it doesn't tip over. So put it maybe on the table and let it set. When it is solid but not totally cold. You remember I told you about the impurities? Okay, obviously now I can't show you now because this is going to take a little while. It's going to take about an hour. All right, when it will be to the touch, when you go and have a quick touch, you feel that it is warm but not cold. All right, you remove it from the silicone mold. Silicone is amazing because you can literally pop it out. So you will end up with something like this. Now this one has been finished, okay? But if you, when you will do it, when you will turn it around, at the bottom here, now not this one, sorry for that, but at the bottom here, you will have all the impurities, all the little bits of barks, all the little bits of the tree, the fir tree, at the bottom, right? So the reason why you need to keep it warm and not cold, it's easier than if you use this little tool. This is, I don't actually know what it's called. What is it called? I don't know. But it is a sculpting tool of some description, a scraper. If somebody knows the actual name for it. And basically what you need to do, I know, a lovely cake. No, you can't eat that. And basically what you do, you will scrape it gently and you will remove that thin layer of impurities, all the little bits of dust and things like that. And that's why if it's cold, super cold, it will be really, really hard to dig in. So just do it when it's still a little warm to the touch, but it is completely set. Remove this and boom, my favorite word, this is your encaustic medium. Now here you have a kilo, which is a lot. So what you can do now, either, I mean, I use this because I put this big block into my slow cooker. For my medium, when I do the workshops, I need a fair bit in it. So usually I put this in my slow cooker and it melts completely to that lovely honey, sticky, yummy medium. Or you can melt it again and pour it to these little guys. This again is a silicone muffin tin or something description, cake tin, and you can pour it into these guys and make cakes out of it. So these are really handy because again you pop them out and you end up with tiny little cakes like this, which can carry and just melt as you need. That's it, really. That's it. That is how you make encaustic medium. Some people are very scared of it, but don't worry. As long as you have a proper temperature, proper materials and plenty of time, I would say a couple of hours, you're doing something else on the side and just make your own. It's cheaper and you feel good about it because I mean, for me, it's starting the process from the beginning, and then after that I will add my pigments, or if I use pigment sticks to this, and then you prepare your own, and that's something beautiful about making your own material, don't you think? No? Okay. Do you have any questions, guys, before I let you go? It's kind of a short one today. I hope I told you everything you needed to know. Okay? Any questions, or are you like, yeah, I mastered it like the boss now, the whole encaustic medium. I'm not scared of it anymore. No questions? Potter clay loop. Thank you, Neve. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna update my files now. If you oh, sorry. What did you say? Sorry, totally, I don't know it as anything else. Do you make a medium? I always make, yeah, like here, for example, I'm cleaning my studio. I don't know if you watched me from the beginning. I'm gonna put the whole studio outside. It's sunny. Look, this light. Come to me, okay? But what was I about to say? So basically, when I'm be cleaning the studio, I'm gonna have the trio plates on, and I'm gonna make batches of it. Because I've got about 10 kilos of beeswax, I've got loads of damar. I've got the day to do it, and this way it's done. You know. So yes, I always make big batches of it. Yeah. Do you do it differently, Niv? Do you do it? Do you make small batches? I think it's great because you know it takes so long as well. You know. Where was I going with this? Oh yes, now if you go, oh Jesus, what did she say? What did she talk about? Oh, I can't remember any recipe, blah blah blah. You can always subscribe. You can always subscribe to my mailing list at isabelgabori.com. There's a blog part in the news there. Click it, put it your email. Once a week, because I've been doing this once a week, I will send you the replay of this session, which will then be formatted in my YouTube channel, and you will also receive this, something that I made with myself, with my little hands, where you get basically what is the medium, where to get the materials, what are the tools that you need, what's the recipe, what are the different basically stages to it, and that is that for today. Something large, depend on what I have coming up. Yeah, definitely. But you know, I've got a fair bit of workshops now this summer, so I think it's good to have loads done, you know, loads of stuff done, especially when you have beeswax lying around the studio, you know. So I am going to go and get super messy now and clean my studio because it's a tip. But I will catch you guys next week. I think that next week I am going to cover shellac burn. What do you think? Because shellac burn is sexy and it's like, it's very dramatic. Okay, awesome. You're so welcome, darling. And you have the best weekend. Hopefully the sun is gonna stay, and we just like literally glow now and go for a little glass of wine tonight in the garden. Okay, you have the best weekend, guys. You have a good time. Bye. Thank you so much for logging in.